Many people are drawn to leadership and to speaking so they can tell people what to do. But there's a better way. Today, how to speak and lead with questions.
Welcome to Advance with Mike Acker, the podcast designed to help entrepreneurs, business leaders, and professionals alike break through barriers by improving their practical leadership skills and increasing confidence in speaking. Your host is a best-selling author, executive coach, and founder of the Advance Public Speaking School and Advantage Publishing Group, two companies dedicated to providing an edge for leaders. Find out more about Mike at mikeacker.com. Now here's your host, Mike Acker.
Have you ever gone into a boss and the moment you walk in, they respond with something that you need to do? Or you do bring in a question, or they ask a question of you and you respond. And once you've said your piece, then they say their piece and then some. I remember one time there was a whole report I had put together, a paper that I had put together, a thesis, a plan. It was exciting. It was thrilling. I'd spent time on it because I was requested to think about this topic. I brought it into my supervisor, my boss, and the supervisor simply took it, put it aside, and then told me what they thought about what I should do. There's a better way, isn't there? Likewise, in going to some kind of event, sometimes you're dialoguing with somebody. Instead of telling you really what you need to hear, they tell you what they want to say to you. So, what is a better way of speaking and leading? Lead and speak with questions. What does that mean? Do you just, at the beginning of your talk, just start asking lots of questions? What do you think about this? How about you? Where should I go with this? Or you say something and then ask afterwards, what do you think? Am I correct? Now, that's one way to do it, but it's not a very convincing way, and you won't really persuade people to your point of view. So how do you speak with questions? And how do you lead with questions? Let me walk you through speaking first. In my book, Right to Speak, I talk about 3 questions that need to and must be asked when you're preparing any kind of update or any type of presentation, speech, report that you're giving verbally. And those 3 questions are why, what, and who. Now write those down. Why, what, who. In fact, I encourage you, anytime on any piece of paper, you're writing those down and you're thinking through, why am I saying this? Why does this matter? And when you ask that question, make sure that you answer it in a way that connects to the person, not just to the product. So why am I doing a podcast? It can't be because I scheduled it on my calendar today, because that's not going to bring me a lot of conviction that what I'm doing is important. But instead, if I'm believing that I'm creating different ways where I add value and help people realize their potential, then I have a lot more emotion invested in what I'm doing because I have a belief in my why. The why always gives a profundity to what you're trying to do. So ask yourself why, not just production. Then what? What do you want to say? Sometimes people are trying to figure out what they're trying to say as they're saying it. Have you ever been in that spot? In fact, here's the honest truth. I actually recorded a different talk and I thought this was going to be really good, but I didn't actually know the ultimate bottom line of what I wanted to say. And I kept on trying to figure it out. I thought I need to take this one back to the drawing board to really discover the what, to really discover what am I trying to get out of that talk. So we'll see down the road when that shows up. You need to be thinking through what you're trying to communicate. In this one, I'm trying to communicate, I'm working at communicating that the speaking and leading really needs to start with questions before it starts with statements or just with telling people. That's what I'm trying to communicate. Now, when you know that, it becomes the organizing thought of everything else you're trying to do as a leader or trying to say in terms of speaking and communication. So speak with questions. How do you do that? You start with a why, and then you go to the what, and then the final one is who. Who am I talking to? Who am I talking to? I'm not trying to talk to trendsetters. You might be a trendsetter, that's fantastic, but that's not my goal. That's my primary audience. I know that I'm trying to talk to professionals who are moving up in their career and realize that they need to grow better in their leadership or in their communication. Now, that might mean that you're at the top of the chain. Several people I work with, they're way up there doing incredible things, but they still realize that they need speaking and communication skills and leadership. They need to advance that so that they can continue to do the amazing things that they need to do. In fact, often the top level people, those people that you look at and go, man, they've already arrived, they realize they still have not arrived, and there's a lot of growing for them to do. So that's who I'm trying to talk to. Who are you talking to? Are you talking to people who have a great understanding of technical skills? Are you talking to people who are below you in terms of education or above you in terms of experience, or who have longer tenures or less tenures? Get to know who they are, their hopes and their dreams and aspirations. Now, if that seems like a lot, can I just refer you back to that book where I talk about it a whole bunch? But hopefully you've jotted down some thoughts here. Why am I speaking this? What am I speaking? And who am I speaking to? I walk through this in the courses that I run, and I help people process this for all the different types of times that they're speaking with people. For you, writing it on a piece of paper or whatever it might look like is a great way to start. It will bring more confidence and clarity to what you're saying. If you speak with questions and good questions, you're going to actually be answering the questions that they have instead of questions that they don't have. Think about it like this. You go onto a car lot, and when you go onto the car lot, the car salesman comes up and says, "Hi there, how's it going today?" You talk some pleasantries, and then he says, behind his mask and 6 feet away, he says, "What kind of car are you looking for?" And you say, "Well, I'd like a brand new car." Now, if that's all he hears, and that's the only question he asks, where's he going to take you? That's right, to some of the most expensive brand new cars. But maybe when you said cars, you actually meant vehicles, and you actually wanted a brand new truck or a brand new SUV. So him showing you these cars and jumping to that conclusion, him speaking to that and leading there, is not going to get the results that you actually were coming to get. If he instead had asked more questions and really thought through what you're wanting and tried to get at what you needed, then he would have spoken and he would have sold with so much greater efficiency and effectiveness. That leads us right into lead. So often with leading, we lead people to a destination that we want for them or that we think that they want, but it's actually not what they want, what they need, or even what we need. People come in and we tell them what to do, and people come in and they are looking for our guidance, and maybe we guide them in a way that they weren't looking for because we didn't lead with questions. So just like there's 3 questions for speaking, there's 3 questions for leading. Why? Why are they coming to me? This is really about the motive. Now, it might be that you have a weekly meeting scheduled with them. I have some of those with different clients, a weekly scheduled meeting. But why is it that they keep coming? For you, it might be, well, it's my job. I gotta, or it's their job. They have to. It's on our schedule. It's on our rhythm. But there's a why behind that. What is it? There's a reason why in your company structure that person comes to you. Why is it? What's the motive? Is it because you have more experience? Is it because you have insider information or understanding about this specific area? Dive into the motive of that person. If we see people as people and not products, it always helps us lead and always improves our quality of communication and their quality of life. So dive into the question why, and then where. That's right, that's a new one. Not what in this situation, not yet. It's where. Where are they coming from? And this is a question of emotions. Where are they coming from? What's their vantage point? What's their perspective? Where are they today as they walk in? If they're showing these kind of emotions and kind of frustration, you can see the bent up power in them. You might be thinking, oh, I need to leave some breathing room right here and put aside the agenda. Or they come in and this whole season of COVID's been very difficult for them. And so you have a time to connect with them on a human level before a professional level. I remember many years ago when I was about 23 years old, I walked into my supervisor and I kind of told my supervisor, what's up? This is what's up. This is what's going on. This is what you need to know. It was critical. It was not sensitive. It was not respectful, really, in retrospect. And yet he didn't berate me. He didn't scold me. He didn't put me in my place, which he could have. Instead, what he did is he asked me some questions. He said, what's going on, Mike? How's life? And he dove in to understand the big question of where's Mike coming from right now? Where's all this frustration coming from? Where's this anger coming from? You know, there's a classic saying, hurt people hurt people. So sometimes when someone hurts us, we want to give it to them. And if we ask that question, well, where was that hurt coming from? We might be able to respond in a better way. Likewise, in our professionul worlds, people are people. People are struggling. People have things happening in their life. Where are they coming from? Seek to understand them. The whole idea here is empathy, understanding where they come from and relating with them, which is a huge part of emotional intelligence. At times, I'll do some workshops and we'll bring in this idea of emotional intelligence with people. It's such a vital part of the workplace. It improves the dynamics of the workplace. It improves the quality of work. It ultimately produces more because people feel cared for before just told what to do and just becoming another part of the overall machine. They're not a cog in the wheel. They're actually valued as a person. That's what happens when you take time to say, where are you coming from? And then the last question is, what question should I ask to understand more deeply the issue they're bringing to me? Let's go back to the car salesman. So he comes in and he says, oh, you want something new. I asked one question, what kind of car do you want? And you told me you want something new. So let's go find that new car. But instead, if he had asked what kind of questions will help me find out what's going to be most helpful to them, then he would have found the gap that he was looking for. The gap that really the products that he have could fulfill, could fill up. And ultimately in sales, you're looking to sell to the gap. Find the need, and if you have something, a service or product that fills that need, then you sell to that gap. Okay, I see the need that you have. For example, if I'm talking to you and we're talking about communication, and you say, Mike, I realize that my communication is holding me back. And we dive into that more. So where's it holding you back? I feel like other people are getting passed up. Other people aren't understanding me. I end up repeating myself. I get embarrassed. My professional communication is not as good as it seems. And there's that professional gap. We dive into that. And now once I can help you understand the gap and I understand the gap, then I can evaluate what I have and what I do. And I can say, you know what? I see what you're looking for. And this is how what I have fits what you need. There's been times where I've talked to people, and as they talk about what they're needing, it's not something that I can help with. And I'll say, hey, thanks so much for reaching out to me. I love it, but I don't have a service or a product or the ability to help you. I can't speak to that in a workshop. I can't write a book for that. I just can't do it. So I want you to get what you need, but I'm not the person. I can't sell to the gap if I don't have a product that sells to the gap. When you're looking to communicate, you are always selling to the gap. Where are people struggling and how can what I have fit that? Where are people lacking and how can I fill that up? So maybe it's a lack of understanding of the financial reports or the progress on a product that's in development or the relationships that's happening with this company that is a source provider or distributor. And so you bring that information to people who don't know what you know, and you're filling that gap. But you won't know what the gap is unless you ask the question, what questions do I need to ask to dive in deeper? With a salesperson, what questions should he have asked? Maybe he should have said, okay, I see that you're looking for a brand new car. Great. We have lots of brand new cars here. Now, when you said car, did you mean specifically a car, like a sedan or a sports car, SUV? What kind of vehicle are you looking for? Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I didn't actually mean car. I'm looking for an SUV. Great. On SUVs, were you looking for a Ford? Were you looking for a luxury vehicle? Were you looking for this one or that one? You know what I really like is and so you keep on diving in. How many doors? How many seats? Do you want this? Do you want that? And you're diving into all the different ones that questions that you can come up with to really find out what they're really looking for. And then you show them, hey, I have 3 vehicles that fit that description. When you're leading, someone comes into you and says, this is the issue that I need, or here I am for our weekly report. Ask targeted questions that get deeper and deeper so that you're able to lead with questions. Don't start with assumptions. Don't start by just telling them what you need them to do. There are times where meetings are like that and need to be like that. But in a lot of meetings, we fail to understand their point of view in favor of just us getting our point across. So next time you're talking with somebody, next time you're leading, next time you're speaking, next time you're in a situation, remember to lead and speak with questions so that you can find the answers that they actually need.
Thanks for listening to Advance with Mike Acker, a podcast designed to provide an edge for leaders through improving practical leadership skills and increasing confidence in speaking. Mike is a best-selling author and business owner who has helped many leaders increase their skills and their confidence, propelling them to new heights in their personal and professional endeavors. Join an incredible group of professionals taking the steps to become better leaders at connect.stepstoadvance.com. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.